Welcome everyone. This is Chef Shailendra Dharekar from SSMS College of Hotel Management, Pune. This is the second session of chocolate making process. Let's begin the session with our previous revision from the previous video. Okay. In last video, we saw the introduction of chocolate making. Then we saw the process of chocolate making and various stages involved in making the chocolate. There are 16 stages which we saw. So let's start with the objective of this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about various types of chocolate. In chocolate making video, we are going to see practically how the chocolate is prepared. And then we are going to also see the preparation and care in chocolate works. So let's begin our session with a video.
Aloha everybody, Gabe here from the Hawaii Institute of Self-Reliance, His Survival. Welcome back. Mahalo for watching. Today's video, I'm going to show you cacao and how to make chocolate. So this is a cacao pod. It's ready, it's ripe. You can tell by scratching it, there's no green. And you shake it and you can hear kind of a rattle. This is a cacao tree behind me. And if you've watched my channel, you probably are familiar with making chocolate because I make a lot of chocolate and farm it, grow it, homestead. Stick around and check out this really cool process. Okay, here's a close-up of a cacao tree. Here's some pods that aren't quite ready. Maybe in the next couple weeks they'll be ready. Here's the leaf. Kind of a beautiful tree. I like the look of it. And that's a close-up of a cacao tree. Okay. Action! Okay, so now we're gonna crack these pods and he's gonna scoop out the beans to get ready to ferment. And I will show you what one of these looks like inside. It's not a good example, it's kind of slimy, but I'll get you a better example. There we go. Ooh, delicious. Oh, yeah, this is a good one right here. This is a good one, good one. Get it while it's hot. There's some in there. Oh yeah. No, that's for you, man. You can eat that.
No, the whole thing.
Not the whole thing, but
Green on the outside, a little bit tart, but still.
they're not quite right, but
Enough.
It
close
tastes like
enough.
the color too.
Like limey kind of Jolly Rancher kind of taste. It's really good. And so in here, where he's putting the beans, we're going to ferment this for about 5 days, and only the beans get thrown in there. You don't want any rocks or any of the rind or anything. You don't want any of this. You want just the plain beans with the white around it, and you don't want any of this. This is what you don't want. And then after that is fermented, it's going to be dried for a few weeks. So the fermentation process takes about 5 days. And then the drying process takes about 2 weeks. It really depends on where you are. We are in the jungle, so it dries a little bit slower because of the moisture. So then after that, you have to grind them up, and they're just a bean. They're like a kind of dark brown. And then you grind those up into nibs, and then you roast them, and then you make a liqueur, adding your soy lecithin, your vanilla, your cocoa butter, cacao butter, or whatever the recipe calls for in the liqueur right before you make chocolate. And then you add the sugar into the liqueur, and then you temper and pour the chocolate, which is the last step. You pour it into the mold. So this one might not look so good. Yeah, it's not so good, a little rotten, but it'll still be fine because these beans are going to get fermented, and we just don't want any sprouted beans. Here are the beans being laid out to dry. They have been fermenting for roughly 5 days, and this is what they look like afterwards. And it takes about 2 weeks for these to dry in this certain climate, in the jungle. They kind of smell a little bit vinegary because they've been fermented, but it's a good vinegar smell. It's not a nasty vinegar smell. Some dried cacao beans that have been drying for about 2 weeks, and we want to make nibs out of them before they start to smell mushroomy and kind of funky. So here we go, dry cacao beans. So now this is the nibs. They've been crushed, taken from the bean after it's dried, and then crushed, and the chafe, most of the chafe, the outside of the bean has been separated, leaving only the nibs, and then this will be made into, actually it will be roasted, and then it will be made into liqueur, and then poured into chocolate. Okay, so yes, tempering chocolate is very similar to tempering a knife, kind of. You're basically aligning all the fat crystals into a certain hardness, I guess you call it, because when you get a chocolate bar and it is too rubbery, the temper isn't right, and if it's too crumbly, the temper isn't right. You got that snap, right? When you take a chocolate bar, you got that snap. That's when you know the temper is right. Well, I enjoyed making this video. I hope you like this video. Comment. I'm here for any questions. I love the interaction between viewer and creator. And hit that red subscribe button for further videos, and make sure you hit the bell symbol to get notifications when I upload.
Fantastic video, and practically how it is look, all the chocolate making process he explained. So let's move on to the next part, which is type of chocolates. So starting with the first type, which is unsweetened chocolate. It is a pure form of chocolate liquor without any adding sugar or milk solid. Okay, so it's a best chocolate, you can say, and I will say little expensive than a regular chocolate. Okay, as you can see on a right hand side, various types of chocolate, and the big bar of chocolate is a unsweetened chocolate. You can see the darkness, as you can make out, it's a lot of cacao liquid cooking. Cacao liquor is there in that. Okay, so let's move on to the next type, which is semi-sweet chocolate. So semi-sweet chocolate contain at least 35% chocolate liquor, then cocoa butter, sugar, flavorings, and sometimes emulsifier. Okay, and you can see that picture. So that is semi-sweet chocolate. Then bittersweet chocolate. In this variety or in this type, the chocolate liquor to which some sugar or more cocoa butter, vanilla, and sometimes lecithin has been added. Very specifically in bitter chocolate, they use lecithin. Okay, it has less sugar and more liquor than semi-sweet chocolate. Okay, so that's your bittersweet chocolate. A lot of people prefer to have bitter chocolate, specifically in European countries. Then sweet chocolate contain not less than 15% chocolate liquor, very less chocolate liquor. So moreover, sugar, flavoring, and emulsifier. So it's not real chocolate liquor, and that is what I guess the dairy milk must be using in their formulas. 15% chocolate liquor, rest all sugar. Okay, let's move on to the next variety of chocolate, which is milk chocolate. In this milk chocolate, there is chocolate liquor, sugar, vanilla extract, flavors, and milk solid is used. The milk solid that makes the chocolate milder and sweeter than the other chocolate. Milk chocolate can be used in a glazing, mousse, or candies. Okay, it's give nice glaze and making mousse. It easy to handle as compared to other chocolate, as it have milk solid into it. Okay, let's move on to the white chocolate, which is not a product of cocoa beans. Okay, everyone make a note, it is not made from cocoa beans. It does not contain chocolate solid or liquor. It is the finest white chocolate contain cocoa butter, sugar, milk solid, vanilla, and other flavor. That is cocoa butter, which is used in making white chocolate. Okay. The next one is compound chocolate, which most of the time we use it in India for making uh, puddings and making chocolate cakes. So Morde is one of the very popular brand. So compound chocolate is nothing but combination of cocoa and hydrogenated fat, okay, as it replaces cocoa butter. So it is not in rich form. As you can see, it is regular hydrogenated fat is used or replaced for cocoa butter. That means it is cheaper, okay, and that's why it is been largely used by the wholesalers or the bigger manufacturer and hoteliers, okay, because it's cheaper and it's a substitute. It's not the real chocolate. It's have more equal amount of fat content and cacao combination. Okay, You can see the picture. I think everybody knows what is compound chocolate. Now moving to the next, extracted from cacao liquor, you get cocoa powder as well. This is brown powder left after the cocoa butter is removed from cocoa beans, is known as cocoa powder. So you separate your butter and whatever is left is cocoa powder. There are two types of unsweetened baked cocoa available, which is natural cocoa and Dutch processed cocoa. Okay. Then cocoa butter. Cocoa butter has a very precise melting point just below body temperature. Fine chocolatier use high percentage of cocoa butter to give their chocolate melt in the mouth quality. Okay, it's give nice shine if you use cocoa butter. It's expensive, and it's many molding chocolate uh, process you use cocoa butter than a hydrogenated fat to give richness, give that shine, and it also helps to have that chocolate melting in the mouth quality. You can see that in the picture, cocoa butter. Okay, now the important points what you consider while storing or using chocolate. Okay, the first point, don't refrigerate chocolate. It is easily absorb odor of whatever in the refrigerator. So always avoid storing chocolate in a refrigerator. Store it in a cool, dry place when chocolate is kept at room temperature. Okay, so airtight container will be ideal. A consistent temperature below 70 degree Fahrenheit, ideally between 65 or 68. It is at humidity of less than 55. An emulsion of cocoa solid and cocoa butter will stay stable for a month. Okay, so that's the temperature you should maintain to store the chocolate. Seal them in an airtight container so that it does not oxidize, which cause less than ideal flavor to develop. Okay, the flavor will deteriorate or will not have a good flavor. So try to keep it in airtight container. Keep them away from sunlight, okay, or direct light. Okay, that's the precaution you should maintain. These are my references which I use to make this video. Okay, I hope you guys like my video. Thank you so much for watching my video. I would request ASMS College of CHMCT student, please go through my quiz which is there in the description box. Thank you so much for watching me. Bye bye.